What's up, everybody? I am Traviston,
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
and welcome back to another episode of this freaking show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. The same weekly podcast that is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got them all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, fill up your cart with all their amazing comics. Use discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. You can save 10% on your entire order. If you look to buy more than one, you can save 10% additionally just by doing that. And they include free shipping. So if you're looking to get multiple comics at this point in time, go to cartercomics.com, check out their store, throw them in your cart, multi purchases, 10% off, FreakNet discount code, 10% off plus free shipping. And not only at their website, but their eBay account as well. The link to that can be found on the homepage. Again, CarterComics.com is a proud sponsor of Freaknet Studios, this freaking show, and Just Freaking Wrestling. And soon to be the religion one that we're doing in a month. 6 weeks. 6 weeks, Joe.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know what this show's gonna feel like because I am in I don't know if I've ever been in a sense of euphoria or have had a euphoric like feeling before. But if this is what it is, I enjoy it very much.
Oh, nice.
Every
This is you experiencing euphoria.
I want to say maybe the thing is like so I am actually where's my phone? I will tell you exactly where I'm at. We are at I don't know why apps take forever to load. 42 hours, 35 minutes, and 33 seconds into a fast.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying to go for the 72. Uh, as I feel right now, I feel incredible, and I think I might be able to make it.
Nice.
I feel and it's a little bit of a mixed emotion thing because here I am on a video podcast recording a show with you, with my beard a little bit scraggier than I prefer it to be, and I'm wearing a beanie cap instead of my hat because I haven't gotten a haircut. I think since we did that cemetery vlogs, and it's just too wild. So there's some parts of me that are a little bit kooky, a little bit out of whack. But I gotta tell you right now, I know I don't know where I was at weight wise when I started at the very beginning. I just one day I ate lunch at work. I overindulged and I know I did. And I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to fast up. I'm just gonna start right now. I'm gonna do a 24-hour and just, whatever. 24-hour fast. I'm not gonna eat dinner, not gonna eat breakfast. I'll eat lunch tomorrow. And I got to about lunchtime and I was like, I'm not really that
Let it
hungry.
roll.
Yeah, I'm a little bit hungry, but not like I really need to eat. So I was like, whatever. I'll eat dinner. I'll eat dinner when I get home. And I got home and I just, I started watching a little TV. I played a little PlayStation. I was dealing with work because I was dispatching, calling people out, sending emails and stuff until about 8 o'clock when phones transferred over to the next guy. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to bed in about an hour. There's really no point in me eating, which at this point I really wanted to eat because I had some chicken in my fridge that I needed to cook. So, obviously I cooked that and everything. And as I'm watching, I'm like, man, I do want a piece of that, but I don't need it right now. Like so far so good. In my mind, I'm like, I'm probably gonna go to bed in about 3 hours. And as soon as I fall asleep, I know I'm gonna get an additional 9 more hours of this fast in me. So let's just keep it rolling and everything. But I did weigh myself last night just on the off chance to see where I was at and everything. And I knew in my mind, I'm like, I know it's not going to be great. So, but at least I know where I'm at. And so I weighed myself. I got the number. I went to bed. I woke up, weighed myself again, 6 pounds down from just yesterday evening alone. My back has felt the greatest it has in months. Like there seems to be like a slight stiffness here and there, but I think it was just from like early morning wake ups. But I was able to get out of bed and stand up without the feeling of my lower back and knees collapsing on me and shit. And it worries me because as I'm enjoying this, as much as this feels great to me right now, it worries me that a lot of it is just like it's just in my head.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just what was that called? Subconsciously or whatever. Like thinking like because I've been fasting for so long, that's why I feel good. That's why my body doesn't hurt. That's why like I feel like this is working. I mean, I'm looking at me on the camera right now, and I feel like my face is a little bit thinner. I know it's not possible. I know in 40 hours changes like that just don't happen.
Right.
So I'm in this weird state right now where I'm thinking this is actually working and I feel great too. You know, a lot of this is just in your head. But even when it's
Yeah.
in my even when I feel like it's in my head, I feel like it's actually working. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm in that
Nice.
weird space in between being I know it's not working, but I know it is working, like right in there. So if that's what euphoria is, I love it. And I don't know if I will make it to 72 hours because we're talking about 1 p.m. tomorrow or 1:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon would be 72 hours.
Right.
Um, it's 8 a.m. on a Saturday. So, I don't know what the rest of the day is going to look like. If I could get through till tomorrow morning, I could probably make it till 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I
You
feel like
know,
if you make it to tomorrow morning, you might as well.
exactly. Yeah. So it just all depends on what I do today to keep myself busy from, you know, getting to that point where now I'm sitting here, I'm bored and I'm starving. And dude, it is hard. Like I mean, like it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, but when I sit there and I walk into my house and I see that I got like, I got about 3 Edmond donuts just sitting there in a box.
Oh
You
no.
know that. Yeah, yeah, and I look over and there's some sour cream and onion chips. I got some, and I'm looking at this stuff like, oh, if I don't eat that, it's gonna go stale. I was like, I got a loaf of bread I got to eat before it starts going moldy and everything. But I bought this stuff 2 days ago. It's not like I've had this stuff for a week and stuff. It's like it literally I bought it on Wednesday. So yeah. So if bread molds in 2 days, there's a problem with the company.
Right.
Um, I just end up just throwing it in the fridge, anyways, which actually surprisingly doesn't make it any better. But whatever. I just wanted to get it out of my face. Um, but yeah, dude, I feel fantastic, and
Nice.
now all I need to do is get my hair cut and everything. Yeah, but that's how I'm
Nice.
feeling, and I don't
Good.
know. I don't know if this is gonna hold up between the rest of this episode or even the next episode we're gonna record. But you know what? If it does, fantastic. What's
Nice.
going
I'm
on
glad
with
you're
you,
feeling
Joe?
good. You
Yeah.
seem very low energy. Which
Do
could
I?
very much be explained by yeah.
I feel like I'm high energy right now.
Wild. Wild.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I feel like I'm jolt. Like there's a jolt going through my body right now of like, yeah, we're fucking in this. Let's do this shit, like I don't know.
Nice.
But again,
Well, I'm
maybe
glad it
that's
feels that way. I'm glad it feels that way.
maybe that's the euphoric feeling. I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
I assume this is what people feel like when they smoke weed the right way and they enjoy a highness in the right way.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, yeah,
You know what? It does strike me that way now that you're saying it. I'm like, yeah,
right,
okay, I can see that.
right. Like I
Yeah.
got
The only difference is you're focused and sharp. And I feel like most people I've seen who had that same kind of vibe are like, well, you can't see it because I got my glasses on, but eyes half open, like
yeah.
just chilling.
That's dude. That's another thing too. I feel like I'm alert. Like I feel like there's alertness to what I'm doing. And I know like the fast track the app that I use it's like Fast Life or whatever the hell it is. When you reach certain points in the fasting, it tells you like what happens. Like
Oh,
um
interesting.
yeah, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to look at like the actual time stamps and everything, but so I know at like 12 hours. Hang on a second, let me do this. This is a lot easier. I mean, it's gonna take a little bit of seconds, so just bear with us and everything. Joe,
Yeah.
real quick, how am I looking light wise?
Light wise?
Yeah,
Oh, you look good. I
yeah,
think.
I got this. There's this. I'm gonna do this real quick. Like you see,
Oh
okay,
yeah, you got one of those ring lights.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a buddy of mine who actually, his girlfriend is the DJ that we post up on our Facebook page. There was a Walmart that was going out of business or something, and he went in and bought like I'm like 10 of these or something like that, and he gave me one. And I never
Nice.
used it, and I totally forgot I had it until one day I was going through my stuff on my desk, and I opened up the cabinet that I keep all the podcasting and YouTube stuff in, and I saw this blue box. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, oh my god! Like, let me see if it works. And yeah, I could change. So there's this one. There's this color. There's this color. There's or I guess just changing brightness, whatever I'm doing. I don't know. But then like
Yeah.
there's like warm, blended, bright. But
Interesting.
yeah, so I don't know. I should just left it. Anyways, so at the 12-hour mark in the fast, you fall into ketosis, which we've talked about ketosis and done keto and stuff like that before. Your body starts breaking down and burning fat. When you get to what's the next level here? 18 hours. You're into heavy ketosis, which you switch into fat burning mode. You're generating significant ketones. After that, at the 24-hour mark, your cells are now recycling old components and breaking down misfolded proteins linked to Alzheimer's and other diseases. So you're following that. We got, I think it was 48 hours. Yeah, so at 48 hours, your human growth hormones are now 5 times what they would be when you started the fast. So there's a couple other things that go on. I don't know. I've never really truly met the 72-hour fast, but dude, I'm excited. I'm happy. So I don't know. If this is what it feels like, I know they say you're only supposed to do it at the most maybe twice a month. And if this is the case, I may
Right.
do this twice a month. I don't know, but
Nice.
yeah. How are you though, Joe? Let's talk about you for a little bit, man.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I feel like maybe I talked a little bit about this last time, but I spent a lot of January just in a pretty bad depression for me.
Mhm.
And so I feel like I'm finally coming out of it, and it feels good to be out of it. And yeah, so I'm not euphoric, but I'm doing pretty well. I'm feeling hopeful and positive, and thinking about the future, thinking about what's next, and trying to figure out how to get my church to not die, or whether or not I'm going to walk away from it before then. Not that I
Yeah.
want that to go out to the world, but yeah.
No, I get it,
I'm
man.
feeling good.
Yeah,
I got a
and I know we talked about that, but it's dude, it's the same thing for like a lot of churches, except for those like what is it, like Joel Osteen churches.
yeah,
Yeah, but any other
big mega
church,
churches.
yeah, like any other church, it's like I mean it all depends on the congregation, and depending on where you're at, a lot of people are still nervous about being in crowds, or I think when it comes to your church, I'm just guessing. You correct me if I'm wrong. Is when it was booming, when it was like filled, you had an elderly congregation, and nobody lives forever, unfortunately.
Yep.
And kids
Yeah,
these
they
days,
were 30 years ago. They were full. Every Sunday it was packed. They were spilling out into the street. But
yeah,
you have 30 years is a long time,
mhm,
and you have people die, you have people move away, you have people retire and move away, you have kids go off to college, and then on top of that, the pastor who was here 30 years ago was forcibly retired for drinking on the job. Then he stalked the pastor after him, so she eventually left. And then the pastor after her, people didn't like. And then the pastor after that was my immediate predecessor. And just every time a pastor left, there was a split, and we lost about half the congregation. So yeah.
yeah. It seems like you got put in a rough situation there, Joe.
Yeah, the way I like to talk about it, man, I feel like this is the first time I'm doing it in a public going out to the world forum. I came onto a sinking ship,
Mhm.
and if it sinks, it was sinking already. If we get it floating again, if we get it bailed out, if we get it patched up, sweet. You know, the Lord is good and does good things. But
yeah, the one what the hell is it called? You know, like how you said, sinking ship, like that. The comparison I hear the most about this situation that I always kind of enjoyed hearing is, you're like the Band-Aid on a gunshot wound.
yeah.
You know, um, it's just, I know it's just really hard, like especially when you look at traditional churches, you know, like yours is, you know, hymns and stuff like that. I don't know if like there's a small group of kids that still enjoy that type of church, who are able to walk in there, sitting, you know, well, you don't have pews anymore. I guess you guys have chairs and stuff, right?
Yeah, we've always had these
Stadium seating or whatever.
obnoxious theater seats. Yeah.
Yeah, theater seats. They can sit there and listen to organs and, you know, singing hymns and stuff like that. It's like, dude, honestly, I think the churches that are, you know, becoming more popular, the new, you know, the modern churches, the new age churches, where, you know, you guys up there with drums and guitars and, you know, singing holy, holy, holy and all that stuff. And but I know when I went to, I've been to your church, as far as I know, at least twice,
Mm-hmm.
maybe once, twice, maybe twice. I don't know. I know I've been there a couple of times. I know I've been to I've never been to a sermon. Actually, I've been to a baptism, and I've been to a what's it, like a marshmallow roast, or whatever you guys call them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, you've never been on a Sunday morning?
I don't. I had to have. I think we did
Yeah,
when
I
we
thought
first
so.
started. You know,
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, we did, because I remember going up. I think it was like within the maybe first month of you being there. So
gotcha.
I just can't remember, because that was like what, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago. Yeah,
And
almost
man,
6.
yeah. Um, I felt comfortable, and that's the one thing I think, you know, I look for in churches. Like when I sat down and I listened, and it wasn't because, you know, you're my brother and everything. It's not because I'm seeing, like, you know, yeah, this is great because, you know, Joe's up there. I just felt comfortable. I just, like, when I'm sitting in there, it feels comfortable. Like there's, like, I can
Nice.
look around and there's just like a warmth that goes through you. And when you
Hey,
can find places like that, those are what's going to draw people in and keep people there. And your church and Christ Community Church, that's here in Peatone that I go to, and the People's Church that Derek and his parents went to, that I went to with him growing up,
mm-hmm.
were the three churches I felt the most comfortable with. The first church I was a member of was the Emmanuel Church in Peatone, and nothing against that church. That church it reminds me a lot of yours. It just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just the layout of it, but I didn't have like that warm feeling. Like this, it didn't feel like the church I was supposed to be at. Oh, I'm sorry. There's the church I was that me, Nick, Sherry, cousin Sean, and cousin Sam were all baptized at. I can't remember what it's called. I can't, for the life of me, I don't remember it. But I know it's up north, and I know my great grandparents went to it before they passed away. I also felt warmth at that church. So when you find churches like that, it gives you a sense of warmth. Like, this is where I want to be, and this is where I belong. So I know the hardest part is getting people to at least show up, at least for the first time or whatever, or even
Mm-hmm.
returning. But I think once you're able to do that, that's what's going to draw them in, because there's going to be
Yeah,
that warmth that's given by the church.
that's how I feel. It's hard to get people in, and
Yeah.
you know, I think it's not, it's, you can't blame it on the pandemic anymore, but I do think that the pandemic played a big part in it, of teaching people that, like, you don't, the world isn't going to, the earth isn't going to stop spinning if
Mhm.
you don't go to church on Sunday. And I think a lot of people got comfortable watching it on their computers or on their TVs. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. I do want to
Yeah.
say, like, however faith works for you, I think that's great. Um, to an extent, you know, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else is the main thing.
Yeah.
You know, if it helps you and doesn't hurt anybody, do it.
Mhm.
Um, but I do think that, like, I think that was a big part of it. It's been hard to get my own people back who were there before, because it was just like, you know, we lost all this momentum, and it's like, well, yeah, I can just watch it on. I released it on Wednesdays,
Mhm.
because you know, we used to live stream, but Facebook blocked my ability to do that for a little while.
Because of
Um,
religion?
what's that? No, for because we don't have a streaming license for the hymns we play.
Oh, yeah.
So like technically, you know, if I had a lawyer, they would really hate this. Technically, I'm breaking copyright law every Sunday.
Gotcha.
But there's like 10 of us. Like, what are you gonna seriously? You're gonna come after us for 10
Yeah.
people? Anyway, um, you know, if we had 100, we'd have the streaming license because we could afford it.
Mhm.
I digress. Because of that, Facebook started like cracking down on people playing music on the platform. Like even like small musicians and stuff, they got cracked down on a lot. You know, early days of the pandemic, it was fine. Later days of the pandemic, they're like, actually, you need to start paying for this.
What are you talking about? Small musicians like doing covers, or are they being dinged for their own original work?
Mostly covers.
Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
if they start dinging people
I'm
on their
sure there were
original
some
work,
getting dinged for their original work just
probably.
because Facebook sucks. But
Yeah, right. Because it's so good, they think that can't be original.
yeah. But yeah, so it's just, you know, so anyway, I couldn't live stream anymore, and to be honest with you, I don't want to live stream. I think if you want to catch it live, come in person.
Yep.
Otherwise, if the computer is good enough, let it be good enough, but you're going to get it Wednesday.
Yep. I'm gonna say something, and if you believe what I'm about to say is gonna get you in trouble with your, I know there's people you answer to other than Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say something, and if you believe this will get you in trouble, let me know, and I'll delete it off of this. But I do believe 100% that the problem with churches is that, and this may sound like I'm kissing your butt, but they don't have people like you.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of churches, and I'm not saying every single one, but a lot of churches, they're more, if they were going through what you're going through right now, their biggest problem and what they would be talking about right now is that we aren't getting the money in every single Sunday. You find your problem to be you're not getting the community in as much as
Mm-hmm.
you want to be. And that should be the focus of churches.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be
And like,
the whole.
don't get me wrong, we're in a budget shortfall.
Oh no,
But
but
you know,
like,
but yeah, I don't think you can't solve it by saying pay me more. It's
yeah,
you know, we gotta get more people in. Yeah.
exactly. And that's the whole reason for church. Again, if that part gets you in trouble, that you're focused more on community and not money, let me know and I'll get that
Oh,
deleted.
if it gets me in trouble to say we're more focused on community than money, then let them fire me.
Okay.
Because I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah, but isn't that the whole reason churches were created, is to congregate the community together to worship God as a whole?
Yep.
It's like like churches weren't built like McDonald's and Starbucks, and it's not built to provide a service to get money in exchange for it.
Right.
You know, that's why they're what the hell is it called? The money you give
Nonprofit.
on Sunday. No, the money
Oh, tithe. Do you mean
tithing.
a tithe? Okay.
Yeah. The tithing, or it's something else. It begins with a C. Is there something like when they hand around the plate and
Um,
shit in there, or like a C word or something?
you're looking for like coffers?
I
That
don't
can't be right.
remember. I could have
The
sworn there was
offering
maybe offering. Maybe I'm thinking of
charity?
offering. No, I think I'm thinking of offering. I think I'm thinking of offering. I'm getting it mixed up
Gotcha.
with communion. I haven't had a communion in quite some time. I miss them. It's just little wafers and a little thing of wine. Drunks.
We do Hawaiian bread and
Yeah.
grape juice. Hmm.
Now, why is it cheaper than getting the chips?
I figure if we're gonna do it, it might as well taste really good. And I really like the Hawaiian bread. I just think it tastes good. I also my when I took my worship class in seminary, Hawaiian bread was what was recommended because it tears the easiest. So if you're at a church that does like specifically torn loaves
Yeah.
that everybody shares, then the Hawaiian bread's really good for that because it's really easy to tear.
There was one church. Well, yeah. Let me tell you this, and then we'll get back to what I was talking about. There
Yeah.
was one church I went to, and I can't remember where it was. It had to have been a Catholic church, where you line up and you all drink from the same cup.
Yeah,
I think
that
that's
happens.
I think that was a Catholic church.
Yeah, we stopped doing that and anything like that with the pandemic.
Yeah, this was maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I just remember doing it. I
Yeah,
just remember.
Catholic churches I think still do that though. You
I
get
can believe
people
that.
up there and you take the sip and they wipe it off and hand it to the next
Yes.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's like we did, like, because they had the little kneeling stable, or whatever the hell what the thing was called but like you would walk up, kneel down, he would say something, tip the cup in, you take a little bit of a sip, and then
Yep.
as you're walking away, he takes the thing, wipes off the rim, next person wipes on, like a conveyor belt of getting people to drink the blood of God and stuff.
Yep.
And I mean, it's thinking about it now, that's an insane thing to fucking do.
No.
But I mean, that was the norm, and that's what And like I said, I'm like 90% sure that was the Catholic Church. I think it might have been the church that Ashley was baptized at.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, dude, it's like it. The churches need to be focused on community, not the money. And I get that the money is important because without money, the church doesn't stay open.
Yeah.
But
That's a hard line to walk.
yeah, and I know we've talked about it, off air and stuff about like a time frame you think the church has and all that stuff. And
Yep.
it's unfortunate, it really is. Um, but it can't be your burden to bear. It can't be just on you. So hopefully
Right.
people are there helping you. And I know you're, obviously you're doing like, well, maybe not now because it's not the season, but the bonfires, weekly or whenever you're doing them. I think you had a festival at the end of summer or something like that.
Yep. We had we had the Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
The 1st of October, first Saturday of October, and we every other week during the summer we do s'mores. Yeah, that's most of our summer stuff. We do have a lady who likes to come in and do concerts during the summer, and we split it like 50-50 or 60-40.
Gotcha.
And it's always a suggested donation. That's the thing. We're not broke, We're just, we're not raising our operating funds.
Yeah.
At this point. And it's just the reality. And the thing is that I think about is that everything has a time, everything has a season. Even organizations get old and die, and that's just the reality. But the deeply sort of Christian faithful part of it for me is you can't have resurrection without death. And so at the end of the day, if we die, we die, and that's going to be very sad. But hopefully, the whatever resources we have left at that point can be put toward helping somebody else flourish or something else get started or something like that, and maybe we can be a big blessing to the community, even if that happens. Now, a couple years down the line at this point, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm still cautiously optimistic. I do feel like we're starting to do some stuff that is positive. I've started to personally, I'm running more ads on Facebook for our events and stuff, and getting a surprising amount of feedback and likes and shares and things from the community. So here's hoping that turns into butts and seats, which turns into people at coffee hour. Yep. So
is there a Facebook page for like church, like Chicago churches?
I'm sure there is. I don't know if I'm part of it.
If there's not, there should be, because that'd be pretty cool. Like if like every church in Chicago is a part of this group where they share their stuff to it. That way, if somebody's like, oh, okay, this church is in not that far off from our neighborhood, and we can go to that and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, dude, it was adapt or die. It's just like you gotta find what is working, utilize that, and keep it going. And like I said, I think you're doing that. I'm guessing off the top of my head, you're probably the youngest pastor they've had at that church.
Probably.
Yeah.
I actually don't even think. Well, there was one guy who was there. Actually, I mean, it was the whole, almost the whole 20th century. They had two pastors basically. So it's possible that those guys, when they started, they each did about 40, 50 years. May have been younger than me when they started.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I really, honestly, I've never seen pictures of them from that time period. I always see the pictures. Like we've got one. You've probably never seen it. most people probably have never even noticed it. But when you walk in through our main sanctuary doors, not even sanctuary door, the main front door of the church off of Forest Glen there.
Yeah.
There's actually a picture on the wall of Reverend Cyril Richardson, who was the first pastor. Yes, first pastor of that church, and served for like 50 years. And it says like Pastor Emeritus or something like that at the bottom of his picture. So, and it's an old. I mean, he's old in that picture.
Yeah. Well, I hope your church does thrive, Joe, because this world needs more of them. And
thank you.
What are you freaking drinking?
Oh, I'm freaking drinking my my Christmas blend coffee.
Solid.
From that Elkhart roastery.
What's the mug?
It's a Dalek from Doctor Who.
Oh, cute. Okay.
Yeah. It actually says the Daleks on the other side there.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
That's the name of the species. They're like they're kind of like an octopus thing that encase themselves in armor, and then they kill stuff. They're kind of fascists, but like that's the joke, right? That's the thing. That's how they're like the space Nazis. That's their whole deal. That's not why I like the mug. Whatever it is, this mug makes my coffee taste better than any other mug I own, and so it's the one I always use.
There you go, man. Nice.
Yep. What about you? What are you drinking?
Black tea.
Freaking drinking. Black tea. Nice.
Just iced tea. When I woke up this morning, and I was to talk a little bit more about my fast real quick is I'm not doing like a perfect water fast where it's just coffee, tea, and water. I'm also drinking sugar-free soda once in a while because I do have like a slight sugar addiction.
Sure.
So, but when I woke up this morning, I was like, I've been drinking a lot of water. I've been drinking a lot of, like sugar-free Dr. Pepper or Pepsi or whatever. It's like I haven't had tea, in like a minute. So I made some tea this morning and pretty good. I like it. Yeah. I also cleaned out my ice tray because that was a block of ice. And I was like, I don't know how the hell this happened. It's just,
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just telling you the focus in me now. But just straight up regular black tea. And probably on the next episode, it's probably just going to be straight up water. Yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
There was something I do want to talk about on this episode, though.
Oh,
I think we do it. Yeah, we got time for it.
We got time. 20 minutes.
Yeah, now this I can't remember what the hell it was for the life of me. Oh yeah, is the Fountain of Youth in a Cook County Forest Preserve water pump?
Interesting.
This article comes from WGN TV. So in Cook County, Illinois, we have all heard folklore about the Fountain of Youth. Turns out, many believe Chicago has one of the best. Recently, Block Club Chicago wrote about a local brewery concocting a special ale from a purported magical life-extending water source. There are more than 300 hand water pumps tucked away in Cook County forest preserves, but only one with a line people are waiting to fill up at. Many are making the pilgrimage to the unassuming pocket along the Irving Park Road and Cumberland Avenue, which I have no idea where that's at, for a jug of what is called holy water. The Schiller Woods pump isn't fancy. In fact, it looks pretty much like it did back when it was originally installed in 1945. But it's so coveted, the Forest Preserve of Cook County has to repair the handle several times a year from all of the pumping. Wow. Many believe the water is special and makes them look younger, but many claim it is blessed by Pope John Paul II when his motorcade came through in 1979.
Okay. They claim that, which means that he didn't.
Yeah. He probably drove past and was like, hey, look, a water pump.
Right. Yeah, like it wasn't on the official schedule when I say he didn't. He may have, but like it wasn't, there's no evidence is what you're saying when you say it's claimed.
Well, more likely what happened was like while he was in his motorcade, he probably fucking dripped some fucking jelly donut on him because I'm assuming the
Right.
Pope's like jelly filled donuts. And it's like crap. I need to get this wiped off real quick because this robe's a little bit old. And they're like, okay, well there's a water pump right there. So they probably got out and he pumped it real quick to wipe off a
I'm into that.
stain, and then boom, instantly blessed
I
because he's probably just like, oh, thank God it came out.
I choose to believe that that's exactly how it happened.
Yeah, right. Prove me wrong. Who's gonna prove me wrong?
Right.
Pope John II. Pretty sure he's not around to tell me the story. R.I.P. By the way.
Yeah.
Unlike Chicago tap water, the Schiller Woods pump draws from a natural aquifer more than 50 feet deep. The Forest Preserve Department of Cook County says they do test it regularly and found that it does have a significant mineral content, higher pH, and less copper and iron than Chicago tap water. And from the watering hole to Hop Butcher for the World Brewery on Lincoln Avenue, where brewmasters are testing their newest ale rejuvenation station, made with water from the magic pump. Can't officially say that it's magic. It's magic because we have no proof of that, but it's still a fun story no matter what you believe. Co-owner Jeremiah Zimmer says your brain kind of goes there. Again, I think that's what my fasting might be, but ride the wave. If this magic water pump is legit, we should probably make a beer out of it. The beer debuts later this month. He's not the first Chicago bartender. Have reportedly been using the magic pump water for drinks dating back to the 1950s. The water is free to the public. There is another pump that draws from the same aquifer across the street, but fewer use it. And like the water and word that continues to flow, the line continues to grow because the only thing more powerful than a fountain of youth is the restorative power that lies in those who believe in it. So, Joe, I guess I don't have to ask you to explain to me what a fountain of youth is because it's in the name.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the idea of a fountain of youth? Like, do you believe? Like, it's because in my mind, if it exists, it's in South America.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, everything's in South America. It seems Aztec stuff, things like that.
Yeah.
Wait, is that South America? That's South America, right? Aztec.
That's South Central.
Central, yeah. So that's where I believe it is. But what's your thoughts on fountains of youth?
Yeah, I'm intrigued by the concept. I hope they exist. I feel like every time anyone's ever found one, it has turned out to not be real.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, I think it would be very cool if it existed. I hope it does. South America seems as likely as any place. Central America seems as likely as any place. Anywhere, I don't know why it is, but there's something about like a rainforest or a jungle that feels like it's the place it should be. Like it's weird that you would like here in Chicago we have oak savanna. Like that's our ecosystem. That's not an ecosystem I think screams fountain of youth, but hey, maybe it's a head fake. Maybe, maybe the whatever's out there that I don't want to say controls the media. That's like way too far. But, I do feel like if it's a rare and precious thing that has existed for long enough, it makes sense that they would want us to associate it with a place that it's not. Yeah. So, maybe this is it. Maybe it's the real deal. I do also think that there are a lot of minerals and nutrients that our bodies need that they don't always get because of our diets or whatever. And so if you happen to find water that has those minerals and nutrients in it that, I could definitely see, especially before the advent of modern plumbing, I could see that being an actual fountain of youth for a lot of people who are drinking it and it actually, it does something to help them not age as quickly as the people who don't drink from it because they're actually getting the minerals they need. That do something, like that's actually how they found fluoride that's in your toothpaste that makes your teeth harder.
Yeah, do they really put that in the water?
So they originally found it. The way they found it was there was a community, I want to say it was in Italy, I don't know why, that had an extremely high content of fluoride in their water naturally.
Yeah.
that these people tended to have stronger teeth than everyone around them, and they were curious as to why, and so they did some research, and that's how they discovered fluoride was so good for your teeth, which is why they started putting it in your toothpaste and stuff. I don't know. I think they do put it in your drinking water,
Yeah,
but it's
just
it's trace amounts. It's just enough to help make it to like get the effect that your teeth are a
yeah.
little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know it. I mean, obviously, you hear it on TV shows and movies and stuff like that. I've never actually Google searched it, but you hear from time to time, we're like, oh yeah, they're dumping fluoride into the water and stuff like that to kind of help with your teeth because people don't take care of their teeth as much as they should or as often and stuff. And I just never knew if that was a real thing because whenever I think of fluoride, I think of mouthwash, and I was like, I
Right.
never once got a glass of water and like, minty.
Right.
So
Since 1940, I'm on the CDC's website. Since 1945, hundreds of cities have started community water fluoridation, and in 2020, nearly 73% of the United States served by community water systems had access to fluoridated water. Because of its contribution to the dramatic decline in tooth decay over the past 75 years, CDC named community water fluoridation as one of 10 great public health achievements of the 20th century.
how would they do that for the city of Chicago to get their water from the lake, though? Like, how much fluoride is in that fucking lake?
Yeah, I do know at the top of this article it says that all water has a little bit of fluoride in it. All natural water
Yeah, yeah.
has a little bit in it, but that trace amounts are not going to help
Mhm.
your teeth. But that, I mean, I'm sure they process the water before it comes in, especially since like we dump a lot of wastewater back into Lake Michigan. Um,
Mhm.
although I think we clean it before we dump it nowadays. There was a time when we did not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I remember when I first saw this article and I first read it, my first thought brought me back to one of my favorite books when I was a kid, and I'm actually probably gonna buy that book so I can read it. You ever hear a book called Tuck Everlasting?
Oh yeah, I don't think I ever read the book, but I saw the movie
And
with Elijah
yeah,
Wood.
yeah. The only part of the movie I remember is dude falling off of the Ferris wheel.
Interesting.
Actually, that part and the part where the dad burns himself to prove that they can't die because they drink from the well.
Gosh, I forgot about that.
Um, but yeah, every time I think of a fountain of youth, I was like, man, I know this is in the Amazon rainforest, and probably the dead center point of it, behind a waterfall. Like it's just it exists, but it's hidden away, and it's hidden away for the very fact that when they did know about it back then, they didn't want anyone else to find it. But at the same time, it's also one of the things like when you think about it, like if there was a fountain of youth and it made you youthful, is it more of a physical youth or like because I
Or
I
just to
know
maintain the youth you have.
yeah, like like I don't honestly believe that there's a fountain out there that decreases your age back down to like a teenager or some shit like that.
Right.
But it's kind of like you said, and it's like Jarko says, like there's just certain minerals and stuff like that that are benefits for the skin, the hair, teeth, nails, and stuff like that. So I love the concept, and I think it's awesome that there's something like that in Chicago, and I definitely think we're going to vlog about it
Oh
one
yeah, we
day.
got to go. We got to
And
go do that. We got to try the beer. Like,
oh
let's
yeah,
make
all of
at
it.
least a half day of it.
Oh, we're gonna go. Yeah, well, yeah, an all day thing of it. Yeah, maybe three quarters of a day. I would think so. Yeah, but I'm on. I definitely want to do that because I gotta see it. And I want to see how truly line this line is. Like, if there's really a line, like, how long is
Yeah.
this? So apparently, this thing has been, a thing for 80 years, and
Right.
like the blessing and stuff is like, okay, so how is it just now? I'm hearing about people are lining up to go to a water. I gotta look at it. I gotta figure out what this place is. But
Right.
yeah, no, we're definitely gonna vlog it. We're definitely gonna have a day of it. I'm excited for it. But
Yeah.
I,
I know roughly where it is. I'm pretty
oh,
sure I used to live near it.
ooh, perfect. Um, yeah, I saw the article. I was like, oh, that's interesting
Hmm.
because
Yeah. And
something.
well, I'm guessing it's getting some popularity just from this brewery
Yeah,
using it.
yeah, and yeah, I want to find out because they said it wasn't the only place that did it. And I want to see if I can find out what the other place is. But there was something I I heard about something happening in Chicago that I wanted to talk about, and while looking for that, I came across this. So I was like, "Well, this is kind of more interesting," because the other thing's kind of a bummer. Maybe we'll talk about it on the next episode and kind of talk about because I guess it's not a bummer. It's just like it's something I don't quite understand, and maybe a guy like Joe could clarify for me because you're more intelligent than I am. Um, but yeah, just I saw it. I was like, Fountain of Youth. You never really hear about that, and I never heard about it in Chicago. But
Right?
who knows? Um,
Yeah, I
but
feel like the last time I heard about it was like in a serious context was probably social studies class in high school, where they talk
yeah,
about like that's why Cortez or whatever came to the states,
yes,
or
exactly.
Vasco da
Yeah,
Gama, or I don't know who else. Those are the two that I know.
yeah, yes, yeah. On the hunt for the Fountain of Youth because the king wanted to live forever or some goofy shit. Yeah.
Yep. Like like kings do. Like people like that one I can't remember his name, Brian Johnson or whatever, that billionaire who he spends uh, like tens of thousands a month on like a pill regimen, an exercise regimen that he claims is reducing his biological age. Have you heard
The
about
only,
this guy? We should
the
talk
only,
about it on the next episode maybe,
the
but
only the only Brian Johnson I know of is a musician.
yeah.
All right.
Uh
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, he steals his son's blood. I say
Oh,
steals. He gets it. He gets it. He has his son's permission, but
oh, solid, solid. Yeah, it's a forced givings. Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that in the next episode. In the meantime, Joe, what are you freaking thinking about?
What am I freaking thinking about? I feel like
Ooh, what's the show count?
oh, I don't think it's changed. I think I'm at 885 or 886.
Oh, you didn't
Um
watch any?
I
Good for you.
haven't watched any since the last time I talked about it.
Is this a Lent? Is this what you giving up for Lent?
I don't think it's an official I'm giving it up for Lent. It's more of every time I think about going back, I'm like just the episode I'm on, the reason I stopped watching it was that I just didn't like it,
Mm-hmm.
this particular episode, and so I'm waiting until it feels right to finish
Yeah,
this episode.
dude, and that's kind of what sucks for me. Like right now, is I'm in the middle of like maybe like 4 or 5 shows because and they're like they're not new shows I've never seen before. They're shows I watch over and over and over again, the
Yep.
series over and
Yeah,
over again.
yeah.
But there's always one story arc or a storyline that they put into these series that I just don't like. And it's like,
Yep.
man, if I could get over this and not, if I could watch everything but this,
Yeah.
then I could probably watch the entire series like straight through without a fucking problem. But I mean, because I mean, a lot of them they're detective and like detective based shows. So it's like they do it like so. This story arc is in this episode, but not this one, and then these two, and then not this one, and then this one. But that
Oh,
so it's like
right.
so it's scattered throughout. It's like God, I really
That
just
connects the season or whatever.
yeah. And the thing
Yeah.
is, like, I don't like this storyline. I don't want to watch this storyline again. But the problem is there's moments in these episodes unrelated to the storyline that you need to see to enjoy what happens next in the shows. And I'm just like so yeah. So I'm there's like 4 or 5 shows that I'm watching that I get to a certain point and now I'm just like taking a break from because like I know like this is the story and now I'm just bored of it. Fuck it, let's see what else is there and stuff. And yeah, so
Yep.
I understand what you're saying, and but I guess you would be a little bit different because this is new to you, but it's just kind of like not keeping your attention.
Yeah. Well, it's a particular character who I thought had been killed off
Gotcha.
like 600 episodes ago. Who I hated. I was so happy he was dead. And now for some reason he's back and he's doing the same stuff that he was doing before that I hated the first time.
Mhm.
But now he's doing it to a character who is like, so in short, there's this group of like really rich people. They call them the Celestial Dragons. They're allowed basically to do whatever they want throughout the whole world. No one's allowed to tell them no. And one of the things they like to do is they like to enslave there's some undersea people, fishmen and mermaids,
Yeah.
and they use them as slaves. And there's a character who is a princess of the mermaids of the fish people, and she is one of my favorite characters in the series. The episodes that involve her are wonderful, and she's just a very sympathetic character. And she's only like she's like 16, right? She's a kid, and so she's trying to get her kingdom to be part of the world government so that the fishmen and mermaids can have rights, like all of the other kingdoms. And this celestial dragon sees her, and he's like, that's the biggest mermaid I've ever seen. I must have her. And he's trying to enslave a child. You know, he's trying to enslave a child who's there to free her people, and it just upsets me. I'm just like, I understand that this heavy-handed metaphor is a heavy-handed metaphor, but I don't want it right now.
No, I get you, man. And hopefully that explanation doesn't ruin it for Dizzle J, who's watching the same series as you are, who also listens to our podcast.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah.
I hope it won't. I tried to keep it as vague as possible.
Yeah. Well, you know, Jay, spoiler alert. So there we go.
Yeah,
so
there we go. We gave it to you.
Yeah, we said the words. That's what counts. It's like when
Right.
somebody gets hit with a brick and somebody's like, "Look out!" You know, it's not. But
yeah. But what am I actually freaking thinking about is probably So just a little update on my cat. My diabetic cat is down from as of Tuesday this week. We are able to instead of 1 unit of insulin twice a day, we're allowed to do 1 unit of insulin once a day, which means that I don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to feed him anymore, because we don't have to keep, like, we still try to feed him 12 hours apart, but we don't have to give him insulin in the evening, which means we don't have to stay up with him.
Gotcha.
And so I've been getting a couple extra hours of sleep every day for the past few days, which has been awesome. I didn't know that it mattered that much, but it apparently matters a lot. My mood is better. I've got more energy. I'm happier. And on top of that, my cat is slightly less diabetic. And so hopefully in another couple of weeks, his numbers stay good, and then we can reduce it to 0 units, 0 times a day, which will be great. So, awesome. Yeah, and then he'll be fully in remission, and that'll be awesome too. So, yeah, so probably that. What about you? What are you freaking thinking about?
Well, first off, I'm happy that. First off, I'm happy that you and I could, find the same mindset. And all it took was for you to sleep an extra couple hours, and it was for me to starve myself for days. But hey, awesome. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah. The only thing that I'm excited about is this fast. And honestly, I thought I was gonna be miserable, but I'm the exact opposite. You know, the only thing that's rough is I guess continuously rough. Obviously, not eating is a hard thing to do, but at least I'm in my office and not near my kitchen. It's fine. But smoking, I definitely find myself smoking a lot more.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
for some reason, I heard it as like you're not smoking at all, and I was like, whoa, damn, dude, you're giving up food and cigarettes at the same time, and you're feeling euphoria. That's incredible.
Fuck no, buddy. Fuck no. If I'm giving up eating and smoking at the same time, I'm dead. You know, just yeah.
I feel like nicotine probably helps a lot with hunger pangs.
Yeah. Well, just know that whenever I do have my funeral and you're there looking at me in that coffin, just know, like, hey, he's working that fast and he quit smoking at the same time. Good for him. Right. Solid. So, but yeah, there's the whole thing with me is I do have an addictive personality when it comes to like food and smoking, even like drinking when I was younger. Not like an addiction to where like it affects my life. It's obviously, like smoking pot, I did that and then it became addictive and stuff. But the thing is, like, when I really enjoy doing something, I really just want to keep on doing it. I don't want to stop doing it. And no matter how many times I say I'm going to get healthier, I'm going to get better, I'm going to, make an effort to be a better person, a healthier person, a skinnier person, blah, 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 blah. It always comes back to the whole like, God, I really want to have a Pepsi, or geez, I really want to have a cookie, or geez, I really want to get a cheesesteak, and I really want to be a giant, not a mini from Jersey Mike's. And So to me, I consider that an addictive personality. Probably not to the extreme that other people have, and maybe some addicts would look at me like, I'm using that word wrong, and you're entitled to believe that. To me, I feel like I have an addictive personality in the sense that like I can't stop eating, I can't stop smoking. At a time, I can't stop drinking. I just, you know, when I go out and I go with my buddies and everything, we can sit there and we can have like, now 2, 3, 4 drinks, have a good night. Back then, if we're going out, well, we got to be doing shots. We have to be
Right.
doing shots and stuff like that. So I don't know, is that like, glutton? I guess would be whatever.
Sure.
So I have a glutton personality, if that helps people. But I think working on self control is something that I'm starting to appreciate more. And like I said, like the entire time I was sitting at home last night, making chicken, knowing like, well, I cannot eat that chicken. Looking at the Edmonds donuts, like I really want that fucking donut. Thinking to myself like, I could run over to McDonald's right now and get one of those awesome double Big Mac, whatever bullshit they're saying, and
There's a
like,
part of me that wants to try that so bad, but there's the rest of me knows that it's just going to taste like a regular Big Mac.
yeah,
Which I don't get me wrong, I like, but like, do I want to pay extra just to have the extra meat?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you want, all it is 4 regular size burgers. That
Right.
equates to 2 quarter pounder burgers. If you ever really want to try it, honestly, Joe, if you ever really want to try it, all you gotta do is go in, get a Big Mac, substitute quarter pound buns, or get a double quarter pounder with cheese, with
Right.
no ketchup, no mustard, add mac sauce and lettuce. It would all be the same, and it's less bread. So it's like I don't know
I
what
believe
they're
that.
trying to get. I don't know what they're trying to get away with, because the whole thing is for McDonald's is they have to quarter patties, quarter pounder with cheese, blah blah,
Right.
and the regular size burgers they're eighth patties. Like
Oh,
that's their
okay.
sizes. They're eighths and quarters.
Right.
So that's all it is. So I don't know why they think it's a lot better. I'm guessing maybe they have an overabundance of regular patties that they
Oh,
need
that
to
makes
get out of
sense.
the way. So they're like, well, let's just take the Big Mac and we'll just add 2 more patties out. We give really 4 in one. It's like, dude, just give everyone the quarter pounder Big Mac and move the fuck on.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to get it as much out of the way before Lent got hard, got going.
Probably, yeah, yeah. I do. I oh, there was another thing. I did see a ranking that somebody did on the best fast food fish fillets or fast food fish sandwiches, and I was like, man, we did that. We did it fucking better.
Nice.
And they didn't even do
I mean, nice that
places.
we did it better.
We did do it better. We 100% did it better. Yeah, yeah. They did places that like don't exist like nationwide. We looked
Oh,
out for everyone. They didn't even do Culver's, the monsters. And I believe Culver's was our favorite one.
yeah, that was Culver's was really good.
It was really good. But yeah, I am focused on the fasting. I'm focused on the fact that I'm not eating as much. I still, to this day, I haven't had a drink since December 30th, and that's
Wow.
not, yeah, that's not for a lack of trying. It's just for I just haven't done it.
Right.
Um, drink, yeah. No, I enjoy a drink from time to time, but the thing is, I haven't gone out with Con and Michelle since the 30th. I haven't gone out and done anything. It's not deck weather to go sit over at mom and Carl's house on the deck and drink. So it's like if I'm not with somebody, I don't drink by myself. And when I went
Yep.
shopping on Wednesday, I picked up sugar-free Pepsi cans, and I picked up sugar-free root beer. Which, by the way, sugar-free root beer tastes just like fucking root beer. It's
Oh yeah.
fantastic. Um,
Uh, Grandma D always had diet mug in her fridge, and
yeah,
it's exactly the same.
it's absolutely delicious.
Or
And I got
A and W, whatever.
yep,
But
and
she did both. But
yep. So I got that, and I was like, if I mix that with Bacardi, it'd be pretty fucking good. But I still haven't done that because it's just like I'm just not really focused on the whole drinking thing right now.
yep.
And I just haven't been. I've been focusing more on making sure that we're sticking to the recordings of the shows, making sure that the audios and videos are going out adequately, and I'm glad that is kind of preoccupying my time because it's allowing me to, it's helping with my focus. I think more than anything. Um, I know when I break this fast, there could be a possibility that things could go back to normal. I'm hoping eating wise it doesn't. I do. I know I bought some brown rice. I do have broccoli, and like I said, I just made some chicken. So over the next, after my fast break for the next few days, I will be having chicken, rice, and broccoli for lunches and
Nice.
stuff, trying to find more healthier ways to live.
Good high
Um,
protein, high fiber stuff to keep you
yeah,
full longer and
Exactly. The one
Nice.
thing, the one thing that gave me the idea that I was going to fail this fast completely was when I was looking up the startup of the fast was um, eat high fiber foods before you start, broccoli and stuff like that. I ate McDonald's, so clearly not the same fucking thing. But I wanted to try the Shamrock Shake. I was like, it's in. I want to try it. I want to have at least one of them. So I got the Shamrock Shake. I got chicken nuggets and fries, and it just made me feel so bloated and full. I'm like, I got to do the fast, and I'm glad I had that mindset then, and I'm glad I committed to it. Because usually I say I'm going to do a 24-hour fast and ends in 12 hours. I'm going to do a 36-hour fast and ends in 16 hours. It's like, if I don't reach 72, I don't reach 72. Like I said, everyone says you have to build to it. So if I don't reach
Right.
it, I don't reach it. I can accept that. I'm happy with what I have right now. And if I do decide to break my fast today because my body is telling me I need to eat, then at least I have grilled chicken and I can heat up green beans. I got canned green beans. I got frozen broccoli. I got whatever I need to have a healthy meal. But I'm praying and hoping that the fact that my back is feeling better has something to do with what I'm doing and it sticks around. Because if my back is the way it is now, then it's going to motivate me to go back to the gym. Because my biggest worry is going to the gym, driving all the way to the gym, getting there, starting to work out, and feel like the shooting pain through my back where I can't get anything. And I leave within like 10, 15 minutes. And
Yeah.
just not, I mean, it's a stupid mindset, but it's not me feeling like I wasted my time. It's other people looking at me like, wow, that fat dude couldn't fucking work out for more than 15 fucking minutes. And I know it's a stupid way to think about it because I'm sure nobody would think that, but
Right.
in my mind, they are. So if my back is feeling the way it is feeling now going forward, then I will be making plans to go to the gym and working out. And I'm hoping maybe one day, since Derek moved back into town, that maybe he can be my gym buddy and motivate me to go and everything. So
Yeah. Nice. That'd be great.
yeah, so fasting. My fast is what I'm focused on as of right now.
Nice.
So, hey, Joe.
Yes.
Every week, our listeners can catch Cartoon Joe here on this freaking show. But if an hour of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough for our listeners, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Excellent. Guys, make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X, just by searching this freaking show. Our audio is released on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Google Podcasts for now. Remember, Google Podcasts is going away April 4th, and it will be turned into YouTube Music. But anywhere you listen to our show, go ahead and continue to do so. If you haven't found us, just Google this freaking show, and every place that we are listed will pop up. Just make sure you are subscribing. Video podcast are released over on our Freaknet Studios YouTube channel. Go over there, subscribe, hit the notification bell as well, and you can watch our episode if you choose not to just listen. So either way, it's fine. Just make sure you subscribe, rank it, review it, whatever they ask you to do. Comment on anything that you have questions about. We love to get comments and respond to people. And we haven't mentioned this in quite some time, but I'll do it now. If you're a content creator in any type of way, books, comics, music, cosplaying, whatever it is, reach out to us. We love having those interviews, and we would love to sit down and learn about whatever you're creating and what you're doing out there in the world. And like I said, I mean, as obviously right now we are doing the video podcasting, but if you prefer audio for your interview, we could do that just as well. So we like meeting new people, and it's been a minute since we had an interview, and who knows, maybe we get some. I know I saw Super Casey is making a return to conventions and stuff, so good for her. Wish her all the best in that. And yeah, just reach out to us at this freaking show at yahoo.com or, message us on Facebook at this freaking show.
Perfect.
Guys, that's all I got. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of this freaking show. I'm out.